prep these live streams on Friday nights for the Saturday. So I'm gonna be winging it tonight for sure, and that's how it's gonna have to be. I still have some notes, but I don't. I usually have a bunch of links set to go. As I'm doing. Okay. So yeah, I mean, let's jump right into it. We've got a few things to talk about today. We don't have too much news. I guess we have some new music from a few bands that I wanted to talk about. I went to my first metal show in 2 years. I want to go through that experience and then the main topic I wanted to do tonight, kind of try and hash this out, is albums. I don't know how I'm gonna call it. I'll make this into a video probably. I think I'm gonna want to call this albums that made me hate music, which is kind of clickbaiting, but at the same time, that is what it is. I'm talking about albums from certain bands that once listened to them, it made the previous material of said band just seem cheap, just not be good anymore. You just don't want to listen to anything other than that material that they put out. It's the rest of their material change. Sometimes that's through a change of style, which all of this is super subjective. The background songs are still playing. Yeah, I usually have some music in the background, but if it's too loud, do let me know. I'll turn it down. Let it out. I think my microphone is super low right now. I think that's an issue. Give me 1 sec. Yeah, what's going on here? My mic is Yo. Yeah, okay. But I really like that last song that had those cleans. I'm not sure what the song is, but it's a mix of like 2-3 albums that I've got going on. With the cleans, it was definitely a song by the last 10 Seconds of Life. I don't know what song, but it's definitely off the album The Violent Sound, which has some really, really good songs on it. It might be that you're quieter. It should be better now. I don't know why I had my microphone like turned way the fuck down. If it's still if it's still too loud for my microphone, let me know and I'll turn it down. But it should be good at this point. But hey, Trego, thanks for joining the stream. Yo, Cryptic, what's going on? Hey, we got some people here tonight. Glad you guys can make it. That's a different time. I'll save it on Spotify, and then thank you. The audio is also better. Okay, thank you, Trego, for for helping me out with that. Curtis says lots of music came out today. I've been working since early and just got back home from work, so I haven't checked. I haven't checked the internet. I haven't actually seen what new music has really come out. If you've got any recommendations or songs you really enjoyed that came out today, Cryptic, do let me know. Hey Bruno, on se donne bien au Meso bientôt. That is for sure. Yeah, man, you're gonna be in town for My Chemical Romance, so that's for sure. Grab a beer before then, and you're ever in town, man. But yeah, we gotta set something up sooner than later. But okay, let's okay, now that the sound's sorted out, let me just go back here. Okay, so right, I was just talking about. I'll get into the main subject, I guess later. But long story short, certain albums that I found that just kind of like made me not want to go back and listen to their old material anymore. Sometimes it's from just their general style changing, and it's completely subjective. But maybe it's just the change of style is something you enjoy a lot more than their previous material. Sometimes it's just, and I think a lot of the time it's kind of like the band just really ended up getting better at whatever style they were already doing. Maybe they leaned into certain aspects of the band even more and just made it as like a better version of themselves. That's usually the case for a lot of these on my list personally. Yeah, I don't know. There's a bunch of reasons why that could happen, but anyways, we're gonna get into that a little later. I really want to check out for sure. I just skimmed through. Viscera put out a new track called Sungazer. I'm not sure if that came out with like an album release or something like that. I have to look into that, and then we're obviously going to do the breakdown of the week at the end of all that. So yeah, that's kind of the rundown of the show. Let's get right into it. Again, apologies. I'm winging it today. I'm gonna have to look up some links and stuff, so it might be a little longer to get to things than usual. But I think we should get. I know where to find these things usually. Cryptic saying Papa Roach released an album. I'd say it's light post-hardcore / metalcore with the new metal hard rock. Man, it's so hard for me to want to check out new Papa Roach only because they've been putting out the cringiest TikToks. Like, so fucking cringe. I can't do it. Them and like Simple Plan, they've kind of been on that same boat too. I can't do it. It's so and I kept getting their videos recommended to me. I think I had to like not block, but I think you can tell like TikTok that you're not interested in something. Like I had to do that at some point because I kept getting these fucking Papa Roach TikToks sent my way, and I was just like, I can't I can't do it. But if you say it's good, Cryptic, I'm gonna have to check it out. I'll I'll try and forget about the TikTok, and because I mean what you're describing actually sounds cool, so could be my cup of tea. I guess old band members are just cringe in general. Yeah, but then you don't have to put yourself out there in that way if you're gonna come off as like a poser or an old dude or cringe or whatever. You know, they could opt out of being on TikTok. It'd be chill, but hey, Christopher, god damn, it's been a while. How you doing, Chris, man? Damn, Simple Plan are doing TikToks. Yeah, yeah, it's pretty cringe. And it's like Simple Plan talking in English, so it's like it'd be cringe whatever they're doing. But then just they were doing skits around, like they were doing, I think, a tour with The Offspring, and then they have this like documentary thing that was coming out, and they've just been turning everything into skits, and it's hard to watch, man. It's really hard. Hope you're doing well, Chris, man. Haven't talked to you in forever. You're saying doing good. I hope the same for you as well. Yeah, for sure, man. I'm not working in bars anymore, so there's that. Finally gave up on that once COVID hit, and but yeah, I've been doing great, man. Makes for a good cringe challenge. Yeah, I guess I could watch a compilation of really cringy French Canadian TikToks and and fucking Papa Roach and shit. That'd actually make for entertaining content. Thoughts on the Bring Me the Horizon features as of lately. Well, we checked out that Bring Me the Horizon Ed Sheeran song on stream. I'll be honest, I didn't go back to listen to the song. I mean, it is all right. Like, I definitely didn't hate it, but it's just, I don't know. Like, there's better Bring Me the Horizon content out there. I mean, it's an Ed Sheeran song to begin with, so I mean, it is what it is. It's a good, rock song, but that's that. Bring Me the Horizon. What other features has he done lately? He's hasn't he been teasing lately, doing something with MGK? I'm gonna try and look this up real quick. They've been doing a lot of feature stuff. Even if you look at their latest like EP, with Nova Twins and stuff like that. So what do we have lately? My brain's like super mushy right now. I cannot think of what other. Oh right, what was Fallout? I didn't check that song out. Masked Wolf music featuring Bring Me the Horizon with the weirdest fucking artwork. Dude, wait, I have to pull this up because this artwork is something else, man. Okay, so Masked Wolf, the guy that did Astronauts in the Ocean, and he already did the NGK feature. Okay, I haven't. I haven't. Why would he? I mean, is it just for clout? There's no fucking way they're like down with MGK, is there? Fuck, man. Talk about cringe, dude. I haven't checked out the song though. Oh my god. Bring Me the Horizon Masked Wolf. I just want to see the image. How does this like? How does this happen for Bring Me the Horizon? How can they like approve this shit? Let me pull this up. Yo, like, what the fuck is this? This is like, I think these are supposed to be cuts. I don't. The Bring Me the Horizon thing, like on her hand, like, oh my god, dude. This is like. Yo, Cryptic, you should have done something instead of this artwork. Because I know you would have fucking pulled something up that's better than this. I think Ollie is just trying to get the bag. I hope that's all he's trying to do and get the band popular, because MGK is a weird and, in my opinion, bad dude. I don't think it's Bring Me the Horizon either, just Ollie and maybe Jordan. Trego saying speechless. Yeah, dude. I just like if I was Bring Me the Horizon, I would have paid like out of pocket to just get some better artwork than this, man. Fallout already has like 1 million streams. Yeah, I mean, hopefully this. I haven't heard, and I can't put some Bring Me on stream. I've learned my lesson, but I'll have to check both of those out. Kind of against my will. I have no idea what to expect for this one specifically for Fallout. Yeah, I don't know. To me, just. I mean, I guess it gets people talking about Bring Me the Horizon, but I just don't see the appeal and like the point of doing stuff like this. Maybe he's just friends with the dudes, or I don't know. As for MGK, I mean, obviously, like it's good PR move for Bring Me, right? And I mean, there's so much talk around this dude right now specifically, that, you know, I get that. If we go off of that whole like Ed Sheeran thing, it kind of sounded like they made it seem like that song wasn't prepped beforehand. Like, obviously they knew they were performing together and everything at like those Brit Awards or whatever, but maybe it really kind of happened from there, and then they happened to do that remix of a song and put it out like not even a week later. That's like super fucking fast turnaround, right? So maybe, you know, maybe something with MGK. It was kind of like, hey, let's use this opportunity. He's like super under the spotlight right now. Let's get a song done right now. Let's do it now. It's now or never. And they kind of just took the opportunity. I don't know. It's weird to me. The song maybe with Bring Me the Horizon MGK has like 24 million streams. Maybe it's pretty generic because, you know, it's MGK, but Fallout is kind of cool. Kind of reminds me of Parasite Eve. All right, that's cool. At least if it's kind of like... I don't even mind if it's not the same style as what they're usually doing. Like, I think that's super cool if they branch out into other things. I would actually really want to see them branching out into some more electronic stuff because they have so many electronic elements into their songs. Like, from way back, like... You know, there's that remix album of what's the album name with the comeback and all those songs. They've always been into that stuff. I don't know. I'd find that cool if like Ollie was featured on some electronic track somewhere with like a big like a big artist because they're big enough now that they could be doing stuff like that. My thing for socials is popping up way too often. I'm just gonna put this here real quick and I'm gonna fix that because that's gonna annoy the fuck out of me. Just give me 1 second, guys. It'll take me 1 second. Here we go. And come here. Wait, what the fuck? Where is it? No. I can't find it right away, so I'm not gonna do it then. Okay. Yeah, okay, so yeah, I'm gonna have to go check those songs out and actually get an opinion on that. Why can't I find it though? Oh, socials. Okay, edit. Let's do every 20 minutes. 10 lines. There we go. Okay, sorry guys, I'm back. A few months ago, a leak said that all the features he was gonna do so far they're all accurate. Kind of scares me because Corpse is on that list. Corpse, that one deep voice TikTok dude. That's kind of cool. I mean, I at least see, like, I can see Ollie enjoying what Corpse is doing. From, like, an aesthetic standpoint, from the music, from all that. That one makes sense to me. It makes way more sense to me than, like, whatever Fallout is in MGK. But I think Ollie's just trying to get involved with like as many people as he can. He's just like, fuck it, I want to have fun. I want to feature on some tracks. I want to collaborate is what I was trying to say. He just wants to collaborate with a bunch of people. I think that's kind of what it comes down to at the end of the day. Okay. Let's Let's get into some news. We have, let me pull this back up. Okay, we have this here. Oops, sorry, I'm out of. Whoop, and here and here. Okay. Within Destruction have announced a new song. I'm assuming a song. New single. This was announced like because I didn't stream last week, so I think this was like a little over a week ago. This was announced. April 15th is coming up, so we're gonna be getting this pretty soon. I think this is all we got from that. I didn't dig deeper since, but I didn't see anything else pass under my radar. I am curious to see what happens with Within Destruction, because their last album was so different from their previous material. Their first album was, I think that the other one was their first album. But I'm pretty sure, their first album was more slam deathcore, more of what you'd expect from that sort of band. A band called Within Destruction, you would have expected that type of music for sure. If you looked at the artwork, even more so. But then with their more recent album, they went kind of like on a heavily anime-inspired SoundCloud trap blend with deathcore. The production, I really didn't enjoy the production for the album. I think whenever there was like electronic elements, it sounded really good, but everything else that was actually like recorded just sounded not as good. So all of it together, there was like a big contrast in quality within a same song, and I found that kind of weird. If you just listen to the album by itself, it didn't sound too bad. Like, you could get used to it, but if you just happen to stumble upon a song off of that album while you're like listening to it on shuffle, it was very jarring. Like, it just immediately sounded just the guitar sounded really thin. The mix just didn't seem to have any punch. I personally really enjoyed the mix. I mean, it's kind of like young kid trendy kind of thing, but I really didn't mind it. And honestly, I preferred having that sort of an album than just another traditional deathcore band. I thought it was at least innovative and a step in the right direction for them in terms of just finding their own kind of niche, and I think it worked well for them. I think they got a lot of recognition from that. Chris is asking, mixing issues or recording quality? I think it was mixing issues personally, but it's hard to tell. Those two kind of, I mean, one doesn't exclude the other, right? So I don't know. Maybe it was like poorly recorded. At the same time, as I mentioned, like the electronic parts sounded really good. Like whatever was produced on a computer, those sounded super beefy. Those sounded really like punchy. But like the guitars didn't, and the vocals didn't. And, like everything else was kind of not terrible. Like, I'm making it sound worse than it was, but if I'm being picky, it was not a great mix. Kuji's saying nice artwork right there. Yeah, so I really enjoy this artwork. It's hard to tell. Like, it's a lot darker. Like their previous album. Let me Within Destruction. Let me pull up the artwork for their. Okay, so this was the super slam deathcore album. Like you look at this and you know what you're expecting. Oh right, they had this album before that. Anyways, so that was that. But then they put out this album here. I actually really enjoy this artwork. And you know, I see it. I see like cyberpunk deathcore, and that's kind of what we got. But then this seems a lot darker, but still has that kind of, you know, the robot mask kind of thing, at the same time as being like obliterated. So is this them saying like we're like going away from this, or is this just like a darker themed version of what they were already doing? I hope they really lean into what they did on their last album, and just push it even further. I think that could be cool with a better mix. I mean, songwriting was already good. Yeah, I honestly, just with like a better mix, yeah, I don't know. I'm really eager to see what this is gonna be, what this is gonna sound like. That looks like it would sound like deathcore infused with trap. I don't know why. Well, I mean, yeah, it's kind of what they've been doing. So, not too much of a wait. What date are we? The 8th. So yeah, in a week's time, we'll be able to hear this, and we'll check it out on stream. I'm actually really eager for this one. What else do we have? Oh, let me try and pull it up through Facebook. Despised Icon have confirmed having a new album in the works. We have this post here. This month marks the 20th anniversary of Despised Icon. We've been in this band for half of our lives and are eternally grateful for the support you've given us over the years. We currently have 2 tours in the works and have written over 10 new songs that we aim to record by the end of the year. Grind forever. This is super cool. I mean, Despised is timeless, man. I don't know how they do it. They keep putting out album after album of really great fucking music. Obviously, I mean, some of my favorite Despised Icon goes back a ways at this point. Like, I'm not gonna sit here and say that the more recent Despised Icon albums are some of my favorite material. I have very like fond memories of Deals of Modern Man and stuff like that. So that always like hits home for me more than any of their newer material. But you know, it's just cool to see these guys still being at it. I mean, these guys, I'm really curious to see what these 2 tours are going to be for these guys, because they just haven't slowed down. I mean, they stopped touring for a bit. They went on hiatus for a few years, and then when they came back, they just toured like the biggest fucking festivals and tour ever. So it's been cool to see. Yeah, I'm excited for this new album. I mean, if they're looking to record it by the end of the year, that means we're for sure not gonna get it this year. It'll be coming out 2023, but it is something to look forward to. So that's that. In the same breath, we've got Thy Art Is Murder doing the same thing. They put out a post saying, was it a post? Or did I just see it like on Lambgoat or something? Oh man, I have to clear my thing. I can't believe it's still giving me the first link it's always giving me is the fucking CJ stuff. Why can't I? I always forget where to fucking go here. Okay, here. Oh, new Decapitated. I didn't see that. New Upon a Burning Body. They've been putting out these weird ass fucking covers, and I was not here for it. Okay, Thy Art Is Murder, prepare a new album. So Marsh also revealed that Will Putney will once again be involved. Yeah. Okay. So late June. Late June, they're going to be in the U.S. in New Jersey with Will Putney to write their follow-up album. I hope they take a step back from some of the cheesier cheesier vocals they've been doing. I hope they tone it just a little back on in terms of like the kind of death metal influence that they've been adding to their music in the past few albums. I don't have much faith at this point that they're gonna be putting out like a super fucking hot new deathcore album. But I'm hoping. I'm hoping. That's all we can do. Oh, I completely skipped this. I wanted to talk about this. Let's go to. Okay. I went to my first metal show in 2 fucking years. 2 years, my dudes. Obviously, because of COVID, there haven't been any shows going on for the past while, but specifically in Canada, I mean, we started having shows again a couple of months ago, maybe, but you know, like maybe a month or so ago. But that being said, everything was already canceled at that point for like, let's say for last month, right? And so, you know, basically like the tours that end up passing here now at this point in time are like tours that were like later announced, right? Or were mainly tours that were announced kind of after the fact that we started having shows up and running again. So this was a show with Polaris and alphawolf and Invent Animate. Like Moth to Flames would have normally been a part of the bill, but they had van issues apparently and weren't able to pass through. I think they were there in Toronto, so I don't think it was like a borders thing. I don't think it was like a vaccine at the border thing, like complications on that front. I don't think that's what the issue was, because I'm pretty sure they were in Toronto the following day, and they were only doing like those 2 Canadian dates. So they probably wouldn't have bothered if it was just for missing an extra day and then picking back up with the tour afterwards. But yeah, so, I mean, it was wild. Like not having been, I've talked about this before on stream, but I've been fortunate enough to, throughout COVID, still have seen a few shows because of my job. I'm a video editor, but I work a lot with my boss on set when we like go and film things that I then edit. So I've been fortunate enough, like during COVID, we work a lot with these 2 labels. And during COVID, there was a bunch of like live stream stuff going on. So I was fortunate enough to be like one of the maybe 10 other people in the room filming a band performing a live show like they normally would, but with no crowd, and be one of those 10 people that's in there in the room to actually witness that band live. As I'm filming. Obviously, I'm working and I'm filming, so it's not like I'm taking it in as much as if I'm just sitting there and watching a show. But at least I've had some form of live music in that sense since COVID. And then as shows were kind of opening back up, like end of last year and stuff like that, there were a few shows that started being like seated only and like very low capacity. and we went and filmed a few of those as well. So yeah, I think I was able to see like work maybe like 4, 5, maybe like 5 shows like that throughout COVID. So at least I had some sort of a live show fix. But nothing beats going to a good old fucking metal show, packed with people. Because up until that point, I you know, the few shows I had been to, everyone was seated. It was like such a weird thing to witness. But yeah, as we're going to see here, it was jam fucking packed. It was it was kind of unreal just to walk into a room with so many people in it. Like, I haven't seen that in 2 years. But it was fun, man. I had a lot of fun. alphawolf, Sabian, their guitarist, had put out a call on like Twitter a few months ago and was like, hey, like, we don't have a photographer or someone doing content for us on this tour, so we want to hire people in every city. And I hit them up. I showed them a few photos from the venue, from the exact venue that they were going to play, and I was hired to go take some photos. We can maybe go through a few of those selfishly after we watch this, but I had like I had some extra time. They because of like Moths to Flames not being at the show, I think they played an extra song or two. I think they ended up playing a good 45 minutes, which is more than what their normal set was usually. So, I mean, after 45 minutes of show, I already had 2,700 photos in my camera. So I was good. It was chill. Like, I didn't need to take any more photos. And they were playing Akudama last. And I was like, let me turn this to video mode for a bit. So I had like 3 minutes of footage, basically. I had filmed like a small thing on the other side of the room at one point throughout the show as well, just because I thought it looked cool. And I decided to make this like super short, like recap video. All that to say. So yeah, if we want to kind of see what that show looked like. That's it, man. Short and sweet. But yeah. So it was a cool show, man. I was just super happy to be able to see a metal show for the first time in fucking forever, and looking forward to the next ones. It was kind of weird for COVID, just because I hadn't been in that environment in a while. You know, no one was wearing a mask really inside. We're still like not allowed. Like, it's still like we still have mask mandates and stuff. But I mean, who's gonna patrol a 500 cap venue of people standing? Like, there's people do what the fuck they want at that point, and that's what it was. I mean, we're on the cusp of having the mask not be a thing anymore. I think in like maybe a month or so. If things stay the way they are, I don't know. We're talking about a 6th wave. I don't know. I don't keep up at this point. But I mean, eventually we're gonna have to just go back to living life, I guess. And that was definitely kind of a reality check of like, oh, this is what life used to be like 2 years ago. So it's kind of crazy. Yeah, so that was cool. Oh shit, Cryptic, I missed a few of your messages. Void of Vision got a new single and a new EP coming out. Never got into alphawolf though, but I think them and Void are all friends, and another band I can't remember the name of. Oh yeah, Thornhill. Yeah, I mean they're all from Australia, so they all. I can't like confirm 100% that they're friends, but I wouldn't be surprised. They're all in the same scene. Void Division is cool. I'll have to check out that single. I didn't know they put it. And you saw. Oh no, I had seen that though. I just didn't check it out. I don't know why. Chris saying, same as when people smoked at Mount Royal on 420 when it was illegal. You can't really arrest or warn that many people at once. Yeah, for context, for people who don't know, like there's this spot in Montreal where even before it was legal to smoke weed here, it was just like a come get high, hang out. That's like the spot, right? There's like that one spot in Montreal, and that's where everyone kind of gathers, and they bring out fucking drums and shit and super hippie stuff, and then people have music playing and all this stuff. But they're usually like really big gatherings, and they happen every single week. But on 420, it's just like something else. And then yeah, Chris is saying that on 420, in the height of COVID, I mean. Yeah, like people just fucking showed up and no one was wearing masks and no one gave a shit. And what the hell are the police gonna do, right? They all have a post-rock, indie rock band called Cherry. I've never heard of that. Who's a part of that band? But yeah. I don't know. Slowly back to reality. As weird as I mean, it's weird at this point because it's been so long. But yeah, that's. Have you, hey, Cryptic? Have you been to any shows since COVID? I'm curious. What about you, Chris? Any shows you've been to since it's opened back up here? Or some members from those bands, you can look them up on Spotify. Cherry is like pretty forgettable name and like probably the worst name to fucking search for on Google and shit. Like I can't even find it on. Just with the name Cherry, like it's giving me like songs that have that name from Harry Styles and Lana Del Rey, and artists Cherry Glazer, Cherry Bullet, Blackstone Cherry, Eagle Eye Cherry, Wild Cherry. Fuck. I have this one that's just Cherry, but I don't think this is it. I don't know what the fuck this artwork is, but yeah, it's a bad name, but the music is great. Well, dude, I wanna hear it now, but like legit, I can't find it. They have a song called "Call Me by Your Name." Okay, that's gonna narrow it down. Call me by. Oh, there we go. Okay, I have it. Cherry, one song. Okay, let me try and see. They usually have like links or something on Spotify, don't they? Anyways, I'm gonna keep this open and try and come back to this. The lead vocalist is of Thornhill. Okay. Cool, man. I didn't know about that band. I'm gonna. I saved it on Spotify. I'm gonna check it out. Last show I saw in Montreal is Man with a Mission, Japanese rock band in 2019 or something. It's been a while. Yeah, so no show since COVID. It's cool how a metal band is capable of softer stuff. Yeah, well, I mean, to be fair, Thornhill have really gone the rock route for sure with their more recent stuff and the covers they've been doing. To be honest, I don't know how I found them, but maybe you can watch the music video online. Let me... I'm just seeing through my YouTube recommended. The new Decapitated song is called Hello Death. There's a new Eminence song too. I have to check that. Ooh, an Eminence song that's only 3 minutes 41 seconds? That's something I can fuck with. God, their songs are all so fucking long. Okay, I'm gonna have to check that out too. The last show I saw was Fall Out Boy in 2018. No fucking way. I saw I saw Fall Out Boy in 2018. Yeah, because I was on a road trip. I went on a big road trip when me and my wife got married. We left for 3 months and kind of went across the U.S. for and when we were in Las Vegas, they happened to we happened to stumble upon the fact that Fall Out Boy was doing a show, and we're like, okay, why not? I think they were like $30 tickets or some shit, like super high fucking up in the stands. We're like, okay, cool. It was it was in Buffalo, and MGK was an opener. It's true, MGK was the fucking opener. So we saw the same tour, dude. Can we talk about the production being so fucking cringy on that tour? Like the screen that they had playing behind the band, and it was like these cheapo fucking bootleg emojis flying across the screens and stuff. It was so fucking cringe, man. Like, I'm not sure we made it till the end of the show. We knew it was like nearing the end of the show, and you know there was a lot of people in the place, and we're like, yeah, I don't care enough at this point. I'm pretty sure we left before it ended. I'm gonna have to ask my wife. But I completely forgot that MGK was the opener. It's true. I saw MGK. I cannot believe I'm saying this right now. I saw MGK live. It was fucking dog shit too. It was fucking terrible. Man, you're like bringing back memories. I had completely blocked that out of my mind. I had completely forgotten about that. Holy shit. Okay, I found Cherry. Let me I'm not gonna listen to the full thing, but I wanna at least see what it sounds like. Let me just turn this on. I'm trying to be real cautious with what I listen to on YouTube. I'm gonna start doing less listening to stuff on stream, I think, eventually. I have to gotta rethink my streaming strategy. This is cool, man. I dig it. Yeah, I'm just coming to terms. I saw MGK live. Never in a million years that I think that was the guy that would collab with Travis Barker, Blink-182, and now Bring Me. I mean, Yeah, I mean, Travis is working with fucking everyone, so that doesn't really surprise me too much. They're like of the same age and stuff, and like kind of part of the same circles and stuff, but. Okay, I usually have a bit of an issue with this dude's voice in Thornhill. It fits this really fucking well. Yeah, I'm not gonna listen to the full thing, like I said, but I'm gonna have to go back and listen to this because this is actually really good. I'm digging this. I add them to Spotify. I'm gonna have to. I love the color theme in the video, right? This blue thing is one thing, but this here, yeah, these like scenes. Where was it where they had like all like this kind of stuff when they're all in the same room? Yeah, this here is fucking sick. I love this. That room looks fucking super fucking cool too. Kind of like vintagey Victorian style thing. Yeah, it's super cool. Where were we? Man, I went off on a tangent, man. I don't remember what we were talking about. Let me see real quick. I just want to. Okay, it's 11:15. I'll be honest. I gotta go to bed soon. I work super fucking early tomorrow morning. So let's jump into the main topic I had picked out for today, which is, how was I phrasing it? I was saying, let me just go back here for a sec. Albums that made me hate music. What do I mean by that? I mean albums that once you've listened to them, you can't go back. Once you've listened to them, if that band had any previous material, it makes it look like shit and you don't want to listen to it anymore. I'm sure y'all have this kind of stuff. Like an album comes out and you think it's the best fucking thing in the world, and then they come out with a new album, and it makes that album that you thought was the best thing in the world sound like dog shit. It's definitely not the norm. Like, this doesn't happen often to me. But if you check the comments, I think it'll say who the members are, by the way. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna go check out who's actually in the band. But yeah, so basically, yeah, there's way more cases and examples of bands that put out a great album and can't follow it up. That happens way more than the opposite, right? So now I'm not even saying just follow up with an album that's also good. I'm saying an album that makes you not want to listen to their other music anymore. And I only have just like a few examples here. It's not a super extensive list, but these are some albums that for one reason or another, and I'll get into the different reasons as I'm going through the bands. For one reason or another, the band in question put out an album that, you know, I was already a big fan of the band, but once they put that album out, it just becomes the holy grail for that band. It doesn't mean they didn't necessarily put out more material afterwards. In the case of two of these bands, they've put out albums afterwards, which personally didn't top these albums that I'm going to mention. But yeah, so that's how it goes. If you guys have any examples of your own, feel free to let me know in the chat, and I'll let's talk about it. Let's go with this first one. I don't know how I want to do this. Do I want to put up like visuals on? Let me look it up. Let's just put album art. That's not what I wanted. Okay. First up. Yeah. Arcspire, Bleed the Future. Now this, my friends, this one's weird for me because their album before this I thought was like a masterpiece. I remember the album came out, I think like right before leaving for a tour with my old band, and me and Mart, the guitarist, we did a lot of the night drives after the shows, and you know sometimes a lot of times we drive until fucking sunrise. Like we drive as much as we could into the night, knowing that we still had a lot to do in the morning, but it wouldn't be us. But we would always try to get as much done at night as possible. And I don't. What the fuck was the name of their? What's the name of their album before this? They usually, Relentless Mutation. This album right here, I thought this album was like the be all end all. We would we would play this record non fucking stop. It was ridiculous. Like we'd listen to it. It's a super short album. Like it totals out to like, I think it's like a 25 minutes or some shit like that. But like we'd listen all the way through and we'd always just look at each other and be like, another time? Yeah, okay. But we do this like for hours. This is the only I swear, throughout that tour, it's one of the only fucking albums we listened to. I thought the mix was insane. I think, you know, I didn't really particularly like Arcspire all that much before this album. Like, it wasn't like I was coming from a place of already loving Arcspire and then this album being the definitive version of that. It wasn't like that at all. I didn't listen to the album before this at all. I couldn't get into it. But this one, I don't know. I think they went with a new producer, and I think that changed a lot of things in terms of just how they sound and how probably with some of the songwriting. They're with Dave Otero, if I'm not mistaken, and probably says here actually on their Bandcamp. Did it say? Usually gives credits, right? I'm not crazy, but it's not mentioned here. I'm pretty sure it's Dave Otero. But yeah, I just loved everything about this album. It's super different than what we're used to in death metal and stuff. And I think that's one of the main reasons why I really gravitated towards it. But this album in particular just showed me how extreme like tech death like this could still be catchy and still have melody. Something that most bands in the tech death realm don't really do all that often. So I thought this was insane. But then this album came out, and at first I heard the first single they put out, and I was like, it's not doing it for me. I remember having conversations about this, being like, honestly, I had such high expectations because of the album before it that I listened to this one, and on first listen, I thought the mix didn't sound as good, and I thought the songwriting was a bit off. But then I went back and listened to it like a few times, and I don't think I thought too much of it. But then they put out a second single and a third single, and those just won me the fuck over. And then when the album came out, I just started listening to the full album, and it's just such an incredible album. To a point that the album that Relentless Mutation that I thought was the holy grail of tech death, I barely listen to it anymore. I just can't. And when I was saying that I thought that the mix for this one wasn't that great, and I thought the mix for Relentless Mutation was fucking awesome. I went back and because I hadn't listened to Relentless Mutation in a little while, because this album came like 2-3 years later. And I went back to listen to it, and I was like, mix isn't that great now compared to what I'm hearing with Bleed the Future. So I don't know where my ears were at back then, but I still wish Bleed the Future had the vocals sit a little higher up in the mix. I think the vocals are a little too taken back. It's very, very guitar focused. Drums are very loud too. Vocals just don't pop as much. I wish they did. But aside from that, man, this album just combines. This is an example for me of just a band that took what worked on an already great album from Relentless Mutation and just like really tuned into and leaned into some of the elements that made that album great. They went back with Dave Otero again, and they were able to add a bit more. I don't want to say diversity in the songwriting, because they've always been super eclectic, but they've approached songwriting with a bit more melody in mind and like catchy like hooks and stuff like that, which is super uncommon in tech death. And that's what makes this album like fucking 10 out of 10 to me. I'm not saying the songwriting is perfect. Personally, I do have certain songs and certain points that I'm like, oh, like I wish some of the transitions were better, or some of these riffs weren't like put one after another. But I mean, those are super. I'm nitpicking like crazy right now. But yeah, I mean, I having this record now, I don't ever go back to Relentless Mutation. Like Relentless Mutation will come up on shuffle, and I'll just go on Spotify and do like go to artist, and then I'll find this album and just like it'll make me want to listen to this album instead. And it'll take me out of shuffle and just bring me this album. So that's number one. Sorry, Cryptic, I missed your things. I felt a little weird with Die For You, with Bring Me. I consider some songs on there is on There Is Hell and Sempiternal masterpieces. Die For You doesn't even like a real song, or at least like it doesn't matter since we've had nothing regarding the new album. So you're talking about like Die For You as like a single? Yeah, I remember you talking about you not really digging Die For You too much. But yeah, I mean, Sempiternal and those are older albums I mean, they're fucking great. My funny story. My wife comes up to me a couple of months ago, and she's like, "Hey, guess what? I've been bugging her with Bring Me the Horizon like since I've known her, praising how good they are. Every single album, like they at minimum have a few singles that are fucking amazing." And she comes up to me like a few months ago. She's like, "Hey, you'll never guess what." I was like, "What?" And she's I started listening to Bring Me the Horizon. I was like, I've put it a bunch like on the radio, like in the car and stuff. It's just never really like got hung up on it. But she's like, she really fucking digs Can You Feel My Heart? And I hear her humming Can You Feel My Heart like every now and again, like in the apartment. I'm like, it only took you fucking 10 years. Jesus. But yeah. Okay, next up. Let's just go like this. Polyphia. Let's go here. Album. Yo. New Levels, New Devils. I'm just gonna pull this up for reference. Yo, okay. This is another example of a band that I find just took what already worked and just took it to the next level. I started listening to them on Muse. Let's go to. It'll be easier if I go to Spotify. Polyphia. Yeah. What's the? A bit of Muse, but Muse had already come out. I stumbled upon Polyphia when Renaissance came out. The song. Euphoria. This song, man. This song is a fucking banger. And I saw the music video for it. I didn't really care for the music video so much, but the song is so fucking catchy. And this is what, like, put me on to Polyphia. But I got into this. The album had already come out, and then they put out this EP, like, a year later. This is crazy, man. They put out a full length in 2016, an EP the next year, and then this banger of a fucking album the year after that. That's crazy to me. And these guys are super young too. It's not like they have like a crazy ton of experience with like writing and recording music and shit. But this album came out and I had this album on repeat for a while. I remember I worked a job where I was able to listen to music. I just listened to this nonstop. And this album was... this album didn't make me not listen to Renaissance anymore. I still listened to both. But I was really fucking with The Most Hated. But then... New Levels, New Devils... Dude, this album is just... It's insane from start to finish, and they really took all of those electronic elements and the kind of R&B and trap elements that they started sprinkling into The Most Hated, because there really wasn't much of that on Renaissance. Renaissance was pretty straightforward, kind of like a Chon-ish vibes. They started using a lot of electronic elements in their drums on The Most Hated, but then on this album, they really took it a step up. Their guitarist has talked a lot about having a lot of influences outside of metal, mainly having influences outside of metal, and looking at pop, and R&B and trap music and rap and stuff like that. And kind of applying songwriting techniques and stuff like that into their own music. And this is where it really started to show and shine. And at this point, I mean, it makes The Most Hated, but even more so Renaissance. It makes these two albums just sound like generic versions of their latest album. So I mean, I sometimes have some songs by The Most Hated, but that I leave on. But it's kind of like Archspire in the sense that I'm like, yo, if I'm gonna listen to if a song on The Most Hated pops up, I'll usually I'll usually go into the artist page and put this album on instead. If I'm feeling Polyphia, this is my go-to for sure. And then Renaissance, even Euphoria, which I thought was like the best fucking song in the world when I heard it. I listen to it now and I'm like, ugh, what is this? I don't know why, man, because I did love the song. But I listen to it now and I'm like, whatever. I mean, I've been listening to it for 6 years at this point, so maybe there's that. But this album's been out for 4. You know, I'm not tired of it yet. But this gets me really excited about some future Polyphia. I really hope like lead into it even more. I just love how electronic the drum sound and the really heavy kind of bass tones and stuff that they put in their songs now. Oh, I love it. So yeah, that's that. Next up is this might be controversial. I don't know if it's controversial or not, but Chelsea Grin, man. I got into Chelsea Grin way back in the fucking day with the fucking self-titled. I mean, these were like obviously classics. Well, still are, you know, classics from the old era of deathcore. And I get that, and you know, these songs have their place in history, but it's just I don't think these songs particularly hold up too well. Anything after that, like on Desolation of Eden, some of these songs hold up. Self-Inflicted too. I mean, this is a more recent album, but I was honestly never the biggest fan of their vocalist. But when they brought Tom on for this album, it just fundamentally changed my perception of what Chelsea Grin could be. Obviously, at this point, I mean, they could have changed band names, you know, because it is sonically very different as well from their old material. They've got Dead Rose, which is very clearly the song that they were trying to use to bridge the gap between old Chelsea Grin and new Chelsea Grin, and personally I think is the best song of the album. But that's just me. But Hostage is fucking insane as well. Super fucking heavy. And I mean, honestly, a bunch of these songs are really, really fucking good. Tom Barber hasn't sounded as good as this on recording ever. He's sounding his best. He's had a weird treatment. I mean, with Lorna Shore, he sounds good on that one EP, on the Godmaker EP, but every other recording of him with Lorna Shore, his vocals sound shot. I don't know what it is. I just think they I just think he had like bad recordings. Maybe it's the experiences he was having, but I mean, he sounded great. I think Godmaker was with they recorded with Machine. I just remember that, like, that whole era so well. When that EP dropped, it was just like fucking a whole new world for deathcore. It was the coolest fucking thing. But he sounded terrible since then, and for a while I thought it was him, you know. But then this comes out, and I'm like, oh, hold up. Hold on a second. He's still fucking got it. But I don't really like the mids he does so much. I wish those mids would just kind of be replaced. Like their drummer does a lot of vocals on this album. He was doing some on previous albums too, but very, very more so of a focus on these songs. And he sounds fucking great. I would switch out those mids for like this and just go for highs and lows personally. More variety maybe in the types of lows or whatever, but I'm not the biggest fan of the mids. But I love this, man. Also, did you hear that Issues is having multiple features for their new record that they're recording? So like each song has different vocals, similar to Scary Kids Scaring Kids. I'm recently getting into old Issues, never have before. Such a shame. Tyler Carter is a predator. He has a great voice. Although, set it off, lead singer Cody Carson would be a good replacement. Obviously, anyone compared to Tyler Carter would be considered flat, but he comes pretty close in terms of sound and tone. Maybe Spencer of Ice Nine Kills. He matches the voice without the R&B flair. Yeah. All these. So here's the thing. All these vocalists with really fucking good voices are somehow fucking predators. It's weird. I haven't heard like what the stuff around Tyler Carter's. Like I haven't heard any of the stories of what's been going on with him, but he's obviously got an incredible voice. He was in "Woe Is Me" too, right? But yeah, he's one of those people, along with like Johnny Craig, that just have such a unique and really good sounding voice that really wasn't really comparable to anyone else within like the post-hardcore scene. I never really got into Issues. I feel like they went a lot more metalcore than what I was kind of wanting to listen to whenever they were putting stuff out, a lot of electronic elements, but not in the same way as Woe Is Me. Woe Is Me was fucking sick. I don't know. I haven't listened to them in like over 10 years, so I don't know. Maybe it doesn't hold up today, but I loved Woe Is Me. But Issues wasn't really, I don't know, it never really grabbed me. But them doing the featuring thing for the new record, I mean, yeah, I think we talked about this on the last stream a bit. To me, it's just it's cool for a record, but what do they do when they tour? Because they're not gonna tour with all these people. So it's just I don't understand the logistics of that. Same thing with Scary Kids Scaring Kids. I mean, they can maybe just hire a different vocalist for whatever tour they're doing and stuff, but I mean, good luck to whoever is gonna have to sing like songs from all of these great fucking vocalists that all have completely different vocal styles. That's insane. Scary Kids Scaring Kids has been touring too, right? If I'm not mistaken. But yeah, I don't know. There's very few people with voices like Tyler Carter in the scene. Obviously, like a bunch of great vocalists, but yeah. I think the guy from the Home Team maybe has that same kind of flair in terms of like the more like R&B stuff. The Home Team has a lot of kind of rap-ish flow to his vocals, but he's got a really fucking good voice. I think that would fit for sure. But I love the Home Team, so I don't want the Home Team to have to break up because he's playing with Issues or something like that. The Home Team is great also. Yeah, man, I've been listening to a lot of the Home Team recently. I've had their album on repeat. Maybe the bands will tour with each other and just swap the vocalist to make it easier. I could see that. Them only like kind of touring with other bands that have capable vocalists that'd be able to like fill in for these songs and stuff. That'd be cool. But I mean, if we're talking like yeah, each vocalist could do like a few songs each. It's just that Scary Kids Scaring Kids is like they're a headline band, you know? They're not, it's not like they're playing a 20-minute set. Like they're gonna have to play like 45 minutes to an hour, some shit like that. So that's a lot of songs. I don't know. It's weird because at this point, Scary Kids Scaring Kids is like a legacy band, you know? Obviously, yeah, sure, still putting out music, but people are also there for the nostalgia. So it's, you know, now they've become, I guess, like a tribute band to their own singer, right? That's that whole thing is fucked up. I don't know how bands do it, you know, having like a band member like die and having to deal with replacing that member or whatever. That's crazy, man. I can't imagine. Let's go on to Oceano. Surprise Scary Kids wasn't on that emo tour or whatever it's called. The When We Were Young? Yeah. Yeah, because literally every other band is. But, I mean, a few bands like that aren't on that fest, so maybe it just came down to scheduling. Or like, I mean, that would have made the most sense, right? Probably like most of those people featuring on that album are probably already playing that fest. That is a great point you pull up. That would have been like the perfect scenario for that sort of thing to happen. But you know, that would have been such a cool thing to organize. But when we were young, I mean, I talked about this, whatever that whole thing broke out, but that festival just wasn't. They just booked a bunch of bands. That's it. Nothing else. And I think just because of the sheer number of bands and like big bands that are on that bill, it's going to attract like a large crowd regardless. It's going to sell out. I mean, we saw it move from 1 to 2 to 3 days. Everything sold out super quick. So, I mean, they knew that was going to happen, so they didn't need to do more. But stuff like that, Scary Kids being on that and having like explicitly like a full set that it's known that is going to be with all these different like band members that are going to be filling in on vocals. Like they could have made a thing out of that, you know? Would have been the perfect occasion to do so. You know, bands playing certain albums in their entirety. Reunion sets and stuff like that. What was the term used for scary kids? I think Silverstein fits that term as well. Legacy. Yeah, I mean, legacy band would fit for Silverstein as well, for sure. Just like a band that's been around forever, you know. They still put out music, but obviously, like I don't think most people, when you think of Silverstein, I'm thinking of Smile in Your Sleep and My Heroine. I'm not thinking of whatever new metalcore stuff they're putting out today. It's cool they're still putting out music and stuff, but I mean, they need to do that probably to keep being a band. And I mean, it would suck for like band dudes to like not put out albums for like 10 years just because people are still hung up on their old shit. But that's definitely what the, you know, they're like, it's not saying that they're like washed out or like has-beens or anything like that. It's just saying that they were like on the top of their game. They were like icons. They were legends back in the day already, you know. And that torch just keeps being held up, you know. Yeah, definitely. I think Silverstein definitely fits the legacy band term for sure as well. Because not many bands like are still around from back then, you know, from that kind of scene. So yeah, Scary Kids fits that as well. They also got a new record, yeah, they've got a new record coming out. I felt so weird, actually. They put out a new song this week on the Discord. I had to put it under hardcore. Like, their song, it features the vocalist from Comeback Kid, and it sounds like a Comeback Kid song. Like, I had to put Silverstein in hardcore. What the fuck is life, man? So confused. All right, Oceano. Ascendance. Can we get like let me just pull up like a proper discography. Spotify always puts things in random fucking orders. Oceano discography. Everyone is super fucking depths. Everyone just talks about depths like it's the fucking be-all, end-all of Oceano. Granted, Contagion and Incisions, I think we're a bit ahead of their time. I think these albums actually hold up pretty well in, like, if you listen to those today. But I don't think I mean, judging by the numbers, I guess they did better than Depths. But, I mean, Depths was, like, a debut album. But Contagion and Incisions, from what I remember, weren't really talked about too much, and everyone would always come back to talking about Depths when it came to Oceano. Obviously, District of Misery is like one of the most iconic deathcore songs, in my opinion. Absolutely amazing. But Ascendance came out, this album. Kurt's saying, I've only heard that one Red and Purple album by Oceano. So their latest one, I think. Revelation. There's no... Let's go back to Spotify. This one here. I'll get to Revelation in a bit. But Ascendance, dude. This album, after, you know, they put out Depths. They don't put out an album for 2 years. Yeah, they put out albums every 2 years. Every 2 years is good, man. So Depths, they come out with Depths. 2 years later, a follow up. It's not really like praised as much. They put out another one 2 years later. Incisions, not really praised as much. They come out with Ascendance. They have some new band members. They had the guy from Delta on guitars, which really came in and reshaped what the Oceano sound was, like, in general. They went with, if I'm not mistaken, maybe I'm getting some of this stuff wrong, but from what I remember, this is a Will Putney album, so it sounds fucking amazing. And they got Chasen Westmoreland to play drums on the album. He, from what I understand, I don't think he even really toured with them. I think he basically was hired to do the album and didn't really do much else with the band. But he is, I think, by far my favorite deathcore, death metal drummer to ever exist, and he's on this album. So the combination of all these things, I think, especially I hate that I forget his name, but the guy from Delta, the new guitarist that they brought in on this album, Delta hadn't been around anymore for a while, so I wouldn't be surprised if when it came to this album, he already had a lot of material maybe lying around from the previous project, or just continuing to write music that wasn't going to anything, and eventually just transferred onto this Oceano album. I don't know what it is. Maybe it was just because it was all new for everyone and they were just trying something else out. But, dude, it is so fucking heavy, man. It is by far Oceano's best album. Like, it trumps Depths any day of the week. I don't care how nostalgic people are for Depths. Ascendance is the superior album. And, I mean, I didn't really listen to the rest of Oceano's discography at that point all that much anyways, but Ascendance just made me, like, there's no going back for me. I can't listen to any other album by Oceano once I've heard this one. And then Revelation, they went with Buster to do the mix for this album, and this I talk about this every now and then. Everyone is so fucking hyped up on this dude. And while I find he does really good mixes for his own band, I think a lot of the times when it's other bands, or maybe it's like when he doesn't actually record the bands himself and he just mixes, I have a hard time. I think that Revelation sounds way worse than Ascendance just from a sound perspective. How like the quality of the mix. Who's at fault here? I don't know. Like I'm not here to shit on Buster. I just don't like personally don't really enjoy how this album sounds, and the songwriting is, I don't know. There's something on Ascendance that they weren't able to reproduce a second time afterwards, unfortunately. Yeah, I never realized they put out new albums every 2 years. That is absolutely insane. That means they put out an album, they probably work on an album for 1 year, and then they record it, and then there's a few months that goes by before they actually put it out afterwards. They're basically writing an album like in a year's time every time they put out a new album, which is crazy to me. Adam from Oceano was on. He's on Twitch, and he does a lot of like kind of recording sessions and stuff live on Twitch, which is super fucking cool. I love that. He's doing that. More bands have to do stuff like that. But he's been showing off a lot of the material that they've been working on for this album. I don't know if it's because the stuff that I heard wasn't like super like polished or finished or whatever, and maybe there's going to be more input into the whole thing, but I'm not the biggest fan so far. And I don't know if Ascendance was recorded with Will Putney as well, or if it was self-recorded. And if it was with Will Putney, and Will Putney actually produced the album, that's why this album is better. That's why that album is superior. Because having Buster do the mix makes me feel like they self-recorded, and there's nothing wrong with self-recording per se, but it takes out that extra person to be there for producing and telling you when this certain part needs some polish, or these two riffs don't really transition well together, or stuff like that. There isn't that person to try and push your music to another level, or try to make something different, or just stuff like that. I'm completely talking out of my ass right now because I don't know if Ascendance was actually recorded with Will Putney. I know he mixed it, but I don't know if Will produced the album as well. But I have a feeling that might be the special touch to that album that just makes it shit on every single other Oceano album. But that's just my opinion, eh? You can think what you want, but this album, man, clearly superior. One more. One last one. And I'll get on to maybe checking out a few tracks. And I'm going to wrap it after that. Job for a Cowboy is in a similar situation to Oceano, in the sense that they put out this EP, the Doom EP, and incredibly influential, obviously, when it comes to deathcore and the general deathcore genre, and their impact on deathcore was obviously huge. Probably one of the bands that put pig squeals into deathcore. Like, they're responsible 100% for propagating that huge trend. I think if it wasn't for Job for a Cowboy, we wouldn't have had nearly as many squeals in deathcore for the next years afterwards. because they were super early to this shit. 2005, that's like early ass fucking deathcore. So for a while, you know, this album was regarded, I mean, it's, again, also in the same breath as Depths, you know, is regarded as one of those pioneer albums of deathcore. And I mean, it holds up okay just because it's so different. I don't think many bands were able to recreate the sound from Doom afterwards. I mean, so many bands tried, but I don't think anyone really came close. So it's definitely an iconic album in that sense. And you could have expected Job for a Cowboy to keep doing that style of music, that type of music. And they kind of stuck to the general vibe. But with, you know, Genesis and Ruination, I don't know if these years are accurate. 2008, 2009? I don't remember it being like that. But you know, just they kept some of the vibes, but they definitely went on a more melodic route. And I think this kind of progressed over the years, more and more so. They became a bit faster. They became a bit more technical. But I mean, just a bit. But Demonocracy came out. And I don't know if there was... I'm assuming maybe there's a band member switch or something. But something happened here. They drank different water before writing their riffs, or I don't know what the fuck. But this album just, like, took everything Job for a Cowboy and, like, kicked it to 11. They all of a sudden became super tech and super fast, like way faster than they've ever been. Very melodic. And just some of the coolest fucking riffing that still holds up to this day, man. 10 years later, this album is a fucking masterpiece. I mean, again, I mean, this dude's vocals are absolutely insane, and vocals that a lot of people have tried to recreate or list as influences and stuff, myself included. Like, I definitely consider Job for a Cowboy's vocalist like as one of my influences in deathcore and stuff. But as a vocalist, but no one sounds like this dude. Like no one's been able to pull it off. There's just something about what he performs that is on another level. But he really brought it to another level on this album, as with the songwriting, how fast everything is. Tarnished Gluttony is just such an epic song, man. A 6-minute 15 song from a deathcore band. Well, I mean, it's not deathcore at this point, you know, it's more death metal, tech death than anything else, but like for a band of this genre to put out like a closing track, and this is the track that has like 4 times more views than their second most listened to track, which happened to be the 2 first track, which by nature have more views because people just press play at the beginning of the album and then fall off. That's huge, man. But the music video for this is super cool. It's even longer. It's like a short film. It's like a whole bit that there's no music and stuff. Anyways, this whole album is a fucking vibe, and it's just I love Genesis and I love Ruination. There's some great songs on here, and these definitely hold up better than the Doom EP in my opinion. But I mean, if I've got a choice, I'm listening to this one. They went all out fucking tech. Like they took it to another level on this one, but I think it just sounds too chaotic. There's something I wasn't able to really get into this one. Encircled by Mirrors, though, has like the coolest melodic fucking intro to a song ever, though. Is it this one or Brain? Which one is it? Let me press play for a second. Oh no, I can't do that. Anyways, whatever. I don't know. This didn't really stick with me. There's just something. I don't know if, again, maybe this is kind of like the Oceano thing. I have there's got to be like new band members in here compared to their material before it. Maybe it's just one of those things where it's like new members breathing new life into a band. Maybe that's what happened here. I think we hear about that a lot, having bands having like new band members come in, and it just like breathing new life into a band, and just overall motivation and creativity just completely like off the walls. So yeah, well, that's kind of like my list of albums that just these artists that I already appreciated, and maybe some of the albums that they already had out were some of my favorite albums ever. I thought they were untouchable until a new one came out and completely shit on it, and made me not want to listen to that old stuff anymore. There aren't that many albums like that, but those would be my five. My five picks: Arspire, Polyphia, Chelsea Grin, Oceano, Job for a Cowboy. That kind of sums up what I've been listening to the past few years. That's a good mix. A decent amount of deathcore, tech death, and then just like proggy weird shit. That makes sense. What do we have? I wanted to check out two songs. I know Cryptic, you said there were a few songs that came out today. I'll have to go check those out, and I'll be sure to give my opinion on the next stream, and maybe we can check some of those out. I had a new song by Viscera that came out today, and I've been dying to fucking listen to it. I just like skimmed through it this morning, like when I woke up. I heard like 20 seconds of it total. So I really want to listen to that because I'd be listening to it anyways. And I thought we'd listen to the new Rose Funeral track that came out, because I kind of hyped it up and had some concerns as well on a few the last stream that I did. I wasn't sure I was going to come out. I was really confused at how they were like rolling it out. From what I understand, it's just a single, kind of recorded standalone. It's not necessarily a part of an album. Well, I mean, it's going to be a part of an album, but like the rest of the album isn't recorded. It's not like they have a full album like recorded or anything. I think it's just like happen to have this song. From what I'm guessing they're recording themselves. But yeah, so we're gonna check out those two songs, and I've got my breakdown of the week to top it off, and then I'm gonna have to call it there afterwards, because I'm actually waking up in like fucking 6 hours. Jesus, I gotta shower before. So yeah, let's get into these two songs, and yeah, let me just close the music here and go into here. Yeah, gonna full cam it. I need to also pull up this here. Korn has been doing a few features also lately, if you didn't know. Yeah, I've seen some stuff going around, but I haven't actually checked out. I've never been super into Korn. It's cool. It's a bit faster than what they've been. Music video is a bit weird, but. For reference, Viscera, the album that they put out like 2 years ago is, I think, my favorite. One of my favorite albums that came out that year. I really enjoy their mix of, I don't know what it is, like his vocals are just different. Kind of like if you took, I don't know, like a very metalcore, like Parkway Drive style vocal, a bit more hardcore influence to it, maybe some death metal influence, but like adding that to like deathcore music, it's not like cliche deathcore at all. I don't really know it's because it's not metalcore, it's not death metal, it's not, I don't know, I think it's more deathcore than anything else, but it's kind of technical. I don't know. They have a knack for doing some really cool, catchy stuff, and he does some clean vocals as well, which are kind of different as also for the style of music that they're playing. And I really enjoy it. I really dig it. Yeah. So far, I'm digging this, man. It's fucking telling me it's gonna. Okay, YouTube's telling me it's gonna fucking shut off my stream. If it does, I won't be. I won't be going back on, just because we'd be at the end of this stream anyways. But I'm gonna. What if I don't know. I don't know if it's like the. If I have this going on too. Let me try like this. Okay. You're saying the music video looks cool. Yeah. It's kind of weird, but I dig it. Yeah, this sort of clean singing, man, is super fucking cool. Like, it's still brutal, you know? It's giving me big, like, kind of like Born of Osiris vibes. You know, the kind of Lee McKinnon type shredding, like, melodic shredding stuff. Okay, never mind. It looks a bit cheese with them cut out like that. Yeah. Yeah, for sure. It's like it's like green screen with like cheap CGI kind of thing. I mean, it's okay. It's not the worst thing in the world. I've seen worse, but it's not great either. And you thought I wasn't in HD, but it is. That's not the issue. See, like a riff like this is like super deathcore, right? Like, and they have a ton of breakdowns too. Like, I don't know. I'd consider this deathcore, I guess. I love this because on the previous album they had like this one song called Immersed in the Ire that had this like clean chorus going on, and I thought they didn't utilize it enough. Like I would have wished for it to go on for longer and for it to come up more frequently during the song. So this is cool because they've got this chorus that's actually really good. And it comes back a second time. I'm down with that. Kind of leaning into that part of the band. I hate this copyright stuff for YouTube, man. But it's just for the live streams, because I can have, like, I can watch a music video and commentate over it in an actual video. But on a live stream, it just shuts down your stream. Oh. Okay, this is sick. Super cool, man. I'm really down with how heavy this song is. I don't necessarily enjoy the kind of I don't know how to call it, kind of spacey, Born of Osiris-y type riffing that's going on. Not my favorite thing in the world, but at the end of the day, I don't think the entire album is gonna be like this. Is this? Release date. So it's just a song, eh? It's just a single. There isn't an album announcement with this. That sucks. Third time's the charm, right? For the chorus. I'm fine with it, man. I actually really dig it. Oh, that was cool. I hope it kind of extends and leads into like an extended kind of chorus that closes it out. I'm fine with the breakdown too. That was cool, man. Yeah, I am super down with this new track. I'm not gonna put it. I'm gonna have to listen to it more. I'm not gonna put it with like loving it as much as the songs on the EP. Like Immersed in Ire is such a good fucking song. The song Affliction is also fucking great. So I'm not gonna say that this song is better than those, but it's a step in the right direction. I think this is cool. Maybe they're kind of teasing people to see what the reaction is to maybe having more clean singing on the song and try to feel it out, see if they're gonna incorporate more into the actual album or not. I could see that being a thing. I think you could have gotten that just from the reactions from the EP, but, you know. Yeah, this is cool. I said I was going to check out Rose Funeral, but honestly, it was wanting to kick me off of YouTube this whole time, so I'm not going to risk it. I'm just going to do the breakdown of the week, and then I'm gonna call it, all right? So this week... It's not a new song. It's new from like a few weeks ago, but I only realized, I guess, a few listens in, man. The breakdown at the end of the song is so fucking good. There's just something about it. It's very Amuri. It's my new favorite word. It's very Amuri. But it's fucking heavy as shit, man. I fucking love this. Let me turn this off and pull it up and go here. The song Enemy by Traders, dude, breakdown at the end of this is fucking insane. I love the build up to it too. It's like super fucking long, but like I love a breakdown that like draws out this long. Like it doesn't have to change. It doesn't have to like switch up or anything. I just kind of like a fade out to it. I fucking love this kind of shit. Yeah, that's such a fucking sick ass breakdown. Don't a lot of people hate Imure? Also, why though? People hate the singer, the vocalist's attitude, I guess, like his whole aura, energy. He's a very vocal dude that's talked a lot of shit and had a lot of questionable opinions online. So a lot of people have been dunking on him for that. So, I mean, and then there is something to be said about Imure, like, especially when they first started out, kind of, I mean, they were different. You know, they were doing something completely different than what other bands were doing. And I think some people really fucked with it a lot, and others just thought it was lame. But I mean, Imure's still around. Imure's still headlining shit. Imure is still, they're still doing their thing. So I don't think, if anything, all the hate that's went towards their vocalists has probably just made them more popular. It's weird how that works, but I could see that being a thing. Anyways, I'm gonna end this there. Again, I normally stream on Saturdays. I unfortunately cannot stream tomorrow. I've got work from super early till super late, but I didn't want to cancel today, so I decided to do this. But hey, there were actually more viewers on this stream on a Friday night than there was normally on a Saturday early afternoon. So, I don't know. This was fun, man. This was cool. I really enjoyed the stream today. Thank you guys so much for hanging out and chatting and all. If you want to keep talking music and stuff, I know, Cryptic, you already know, you're already part of the squad. But hey, if you're new here and you're watching, whether it's right now or if it's on the replay, there is a Discord channel that's linked down in the description below. I spend most of my time on there. I'm always in there posting about new music and talking to people about what's been going on in the metal world through there. So I take a lot of content, I guess, from the for the streams. They kind of all stem from the Discord. I oftentimes ask people for opinions and ideas and stuff on there too. So it's just I don't know. It's a cool place, I think, for people to hang out. So yeah, if you're not a part of it, link down in the description. Do check it out. And if you're not subscribed to the YouTube channel, what the fuck are you doing? You made it till the end, so you might as well subscribe, right? But yeah. Trego, thank you for the stream. Hey, thank you for hanging out, man. I don't know if you've been here the entire time, but very cool if so, man. Appreciate you coming out, man. Cryptic, thanks for showing up as always. And yeah, that's gonna be it. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys soon. All right, peace out, guys.